Hello and welcome to Affinity. This is a full edit of a picture taken well underground in a Polish salt mine where they'd in past ages carved out a complete cathedral. Quite remarkable it is too. So this is the raw file showing the develop persona, and had to underexpose it significantly to stop the lights burning out here. So we'll start from that with some shadows and highlights to try and bring things back. If you look at the histogram up here, you can see you've got a spike here of the highlights going on, and here everything down the bottom. So we need to pull that lot up and pull this down, which is what these does. So the highlights pulls down that top end there, and the shadows pushes out that end there. Don't worry too much about what it's looking like at the moment. Let's see what we can do with it. We've maxed that out there. What if we bring up the exposure a little bit, not too much because we don't want to start get that going again. Bring up the black point, starts to restore contrast, maybe a bit of brightness. How far do we dare? Look, that's spiking up there against falling off, but we can pull down the highlights to bring it back in again. So there, that's already recovered quite a lot. Now if we look at the picture here, it's not quite what I'd like, because these lamps here are not hanging vertically. Yes, I know it's how the lens worked, but see if we can do a bit of straightening on that without making it look too bad. So if I go to the lens tab here, let's see what I can do. Make sure this is vertical first, so I can see what's going on. And I'm going to go to View and Show Grid, which you can also use Control single quote. So this is fairly close. I'm going to use this one as kind of the plumb line, and if I rotate it a little bit here, I can get that nice and straight. Now then, these lines here in particular, I'd like those to be vertical, so this is on the vertical control. Which way is it going to go? That way straightens it up. It's going to have to push it back a heck of a long way, but we're not too worried about this. There you go, that's not too bad. Let's check the other verticals here. Those seem okay as well. That's corrected that. All right. These things here don't seem quite straight, but we can address that in the photo persona, and we'll click on chromatic aberration because the lens wasn't a great one, and there'll be a whole bunch of that there, so it'll take out what it can from that. Generally with chromatic aberration you'll get so far, and then you have to use defringe, and if that doesn't work then it's all manual copy and paste and so on. So I'm going to develop that, and let's see where we get to. Whilst we're doing this, we can see this here isn't quite straight. This line could come down a little bit. So I'm going to right click here, click on this perspective tool, turn off the grid, which can be confusing, and bring this down just a little bit here, just to make sure this line here runs nice and horizontal. This one isn't quite right, but to do that I'm going to apply the perspective, right click it again and go to the mesh warp. I'm going to zoom into this to be able to get that, look for how to straighten that out a little bit. So what I'm going to do is click on there, 2 points there, and then down here click on this twice there. Now if I drag one of these corners, the others kind of stay still, and it sort of distorts it a little bit locally. So this one here, I'm just going to pull this one up. You can see it's pushing things up a bit here, but this is going to start to distort those people here, so I'm just going to put another one in here. So when I pull this up, it pulls it up just locally there. It doesn't bend those people too much. And I'll just pull that just up to that line there. See if I pull it, bring this one up, it'll kind of straighten it up a bit more, so that's straight. Not that many people would notice, but that's kind of what I like to do. What I'm also going to do here is, because, let's go in a bit there, I've got this light here, got some chromatic aberration. It's still not quite straight. I'm going to do a little bit of cloning. To help that, let's just turn off the control quote to get rid of this. I'm going to select a bit here so I can just paint up to it without it falling off rather annoyingly, and I get a nice straight line. So I'm going to go to the right click here, the freehand selection, and the polygon there, so I can draw in straight lines. I'm going to click here, go across here, and I can do it visually actually here. I could turn on the grid again, but it's really to make it nice and horizontal. That's about it there. Then down around here and click to the end there, and there we go, that's made that. Just so I can only copy within that. Then I get the clone tool, alt click down here, and then click up here in that area, and then shift click at this end and it should draw a straight line. There we go, so it draws that line across, so I've got that filled in quite quickly. Now I can alt click down here and just kind of paint across to fill in the gap there. Control D, and let's just a little tap in there just to square off that corner. There we go, that will do. It's not perfect, and maybe I should have feathered the edge. I take the blur brush tool, make that very, very small, just to soften that a little bit. Shift click there, then shift click at this end here, and that should soften that edge just tiny a bit. Let's go back out again. Alright, now then, what else can we do? Let's do a crop, because we don't need these bits in here, so we don't need to do any in painting or any of that. So I'll just do a crop, and I'll bring in that edge to there to catch that corner there, this edge here to catch that corner there. Then the bottom up, we don't need this space here, so I'm going to bring that up just to the bottom of that. There you go, that looks a lot better there. What can I do here? Control, look in here, this here is also a little bit not perfect, is it? So I'm going to do the same sort of clone before, but I'm going to just bring this all the way in here so I can, perhaps if I can do it just by hand here. Should really do this on separate layers, but alt click here and clip out that, then shift click down to this end there, and it draws a line across there. Click and shift click back again. There you go, that's filled that in. That's good enough because it's not going to see too much, and there's a little bit over here. So what I can do there is zoom in there and just alt click from here and just paint across that, just to take that one out. There we go, that's better. Now then, if I control zoom into here again, this here is a bit noisy, isn't it? It's still a little bit hard, so get the blur, paint along this line here just to soften that so it doesn't look artificial. This is a bit of a kludge. I shouldn't be showing you this, but sometimes it kind of is just enough, because in the final picture you're not going to see it. And then my clone brush here, need to tidy this corner up a little bit. I'll click down here and just paint up there. That'll do. Now then, what I really want to do here is look at the noise, because of the underexposed it. That means the shadows get really noisy. So I'm going to go down to live filters and go to denoise, and the tiles here, there's noise showing there. So how much of this do I need to pull up to kind of get rid of that? Down here is going to be just too noisy to, everything else is going to go funny. So about 30%, that'll do. That has tidied this up a bit here, maybe even a bit too smooth, but that's okay. And when you're zoomed out, you tend not to see too much of that anyway. So there we go, that's a denoise. Click on the layer again to make sure things arrive in the right place. And how about a bit of white balance? light underground is going to be very funny based on, of course, the lighting here. So we'll go here and go up to white balance. And what I tend to do here is click on the picker, click around the place. That's better. Let's try some others and see what happens. And it's all round about here, so it makes it a bit of blue rather than be that yellow light which you get from internal stuff. And I'll actually start moving it up myself. So so I tweak it again. Where does it look better for me? So actually a little bit somewhat higher there. Yeah, so a little bit more blue. That I like the look of that. And even experiment with the other one. Where does that go? Maybe a tiny bit of green. Maybe just a little bit. Okay, that'll do. Can always go back and change it. So look at what we've got here. What you get sometimes is things like this. It's somebody red and somebody the orange then. Those reds, the people are just jumping out a bit too much. So an easy way to fix that is to go to HSL and then either click red or use the picker and click on the orange there, the red there. See, that moves that a little bit. What about this orange one here? Click that. And that's around there. So that's actually shown us the range. We need it to be about that kind of range. Just a little bit of fade off on the edge. And then we'll turn the saturation just down a bit until those reds are not quite so annoyingly intrusive. That's better, isn't it? Here you go. Click on the background again to make sure things fit in the right place. One of the things we can do here as well, if I look into this stuff, how's this doing? Going right into the pixel level, it's looking okay here. Although what you've got, if you look in here, look at the lines you're getting here. See, you get a sudden sort of starts to getting a little bit blocky. A way to address that is to go to live filters and clarity and pull the clarity down, and that's going to soften those edges a bit if that is causing a problem, and it just makes that a little bit bad. Let's control 0 out. What does that look like? Turn it on and off, see whether it makes it worse, because we're going to sharpen it afterwards, so any loss of overall sharpness should be okay, but we can come back and re-tweak that. But that's another little kind of thing that you can do. Let's also put on some curves, so increase a bit of the contrast here. So I'm just going to take the light up a bit. In fact, the light, you just want to make it a bit lighter really, but we don't want to lose the dark, so how about that? So just bring the darks down more, so the light's up a little bit more to brighten that up, but not so it gets so artificial. Just ping that a little bit. What you can get as well with this is if I look into here, let's go into detail when it comes out, and is the colours start to change. So here go to blend mode rather than normal, go down to luminosity, look at the difference. So this is without this, and that's with a bit of luminosity. It's not a great deal of difference happening here, is it? But sometimes that's a useful thing to do, and it does make sure that you're adjusting only tones and not the colours as well. And finally, let's try a bit of sharpening. We'll use some people in here to make sure that the sharpening is not going to go bananas. But we'll go to Live Filters, High Pass, and click on the monochrome. Same reason because we don't want it to start affecting the colours. And the radius keep under 1 normally till you start seeing edges, and go to linear light. And that already is sharpening. Look, so before and after there's a bit more there. And what we can do then is if I click on that and Control J, it sort of applies it one on top of the other, but that's a bit heavy, isn't it? So I drop this right down. So if I go into 0.3, that's still getting quite a lot of an effect there. And I'm going to do it again just to do this and drop this down to 0.1. And although this looks a little bit sharp here, if I go Control 0 going out, overall effect is quite significant. Yeah, so if you can adjust those things, you can always soften it afterwards with a micro blur or a Gaussian blur, but with 0.1 pixel it'll just take the edge off those, any crunchiness that is getting in the way of the final picture you're going to print. Because if you're going to print this at this visibility, you won't notice some of those. So let's do a before and after. So the history goes down. Here's the before, after having been through the develop module, and here's the after. I think that's a significant improvement. Looks a lot sharper, a lot cleaner. So hope that was interesting, and thank you very much for watching.